Hi, everyone. Dear participants, dear speaker, we're pleased to welcome you to our second Info Day via Seeds of Bravery project. Today's topic is a business innovation services and innovative entrepreneurship program. Our speakers today will share all the details and benefits of participating in this program. If you have any question, please leave them in the comments box. My name is Yana. I'm a head of Innovative Voucher Program on Ukrainian Startup Fund, and today I will be the moderator of this discussion. Today I'm working with my colleagues Maria Karpilovska, Project Manager at Funding Box Accelerator, Irene Muniz, Venture Analyst and Plug and Play, Finula Wall, Marketing Manager in EU Project Coordinator, and in Corbik, Michal Olszewski, Acceleration Manager in Funding Box Accelerator, and Peter Torstensman, CEO at Accelerate. We want to remind you that Seeds of Bravery project funded by the European Union under the European Innovation Council. So let's get started. And for the first speaker, I want to invite to the stage Peter, and just to say a little bit about overview of the support program part one. Peter, the stage is yours.
So thank you. As Jana told us, I'm Peter. I'm CEO of Accelerate, one of the partners in this project. And I would actually kind of like do it really short in the beginning, and then pass the word to Maria, just talking slowly about who we are targeting as startup and what we think about innovative startup. So basically, the info day today is on the stream that we call it in our project, that is focusing on innovative entrepreneurship. Basically, in this stream, we focus on two types of startups. One type of startup that is startups continuing working in Ukraine, even under the bad circumstances. So that's one part that can get support for that continuation of being in Ukraine and building the startup. And the second target group that we have for today is female-led startups. So basically, startups run by females, where you can get support to actually relocate to other EU countries or enter into other EU countries. So those are kind of like the target group for today. Then we have a headline of innovative startup, and what does that actually mean to be an startups? And usually we at Accelerate divide it into two things of being innovative. One part is, well, what are the market that you are target? So basically looking at, are you targeting a market that is growing in terms of new customers and new demands and needs? And the second part of what we are looking for is, are you targeting that market with a new type of solution? So basically what we call, do you have original insight? So do you know something about the solution and the innovation that not a lot of other people? So if I were to ask 100 people, they would not all say, okay, we already seen this solution. We're actually talking startups that is both at the pre-incubation stage, the incubation stage, but could also be at the acceleration or the scale-up stage. So a broad group in terms of stage, but targeted in terms of startups that want to continue in Ukraine, or female-led startup that also can or will continue, but also have the chance of relocate to other parts of the European Union. So that should be the first word from me. So just kind of like figuring out who are we targeting and what do we mean about innovative startups. So thank you for that.
Thank you so much, Peter, for your effort and for this information. I hope that Maria have a lot of more information about this part, so I'm invite Maria to add a little bit to this part and overview of the support program. Maria, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Jana. Thank you very much, Peter, for the introduction. Could we go to the next slide, please? So in the meantime, just what I wanted to add on top of what Peter said, who we are looking for, I also wanted to mention a few words about what kind of activities we can fund under Seeds of Bravery. So again, like what the essence of the project is. So we are looking for you already know, innovative companies whose solutions, products, or services have the potential of supporting the rebuilding of the Ukrainian economy and infrastructure after the war. So this is the first point. So this is how we define the scope of the Seeds of Bravery. Then also we are looking for proposals for projects that have this strong European dimension potential. So the potential to bring the Ukrainian startup ecosystem closer to the European innovation ecosystem, and also to kind of pave the way for the Ukrainian startups for their future participation in EIC calls. So this is the second point. And also specifically for the Innovative Entrepreneurship Program, we are looking for proposals that can show that they have very clear objectives and that they are scalable. So they don't focus maybe so much on a specific problem, but they have the potential of being scalable to be like commercialized to solve maybe a bigger structural problem in a specific sector or for some specific processes, right? So this is these are the kind of activities, proposals we are looking for, and these are the activities we want to fund under Seeds of Bravery. So this is it about the part one. So if we could go to the next slide, I'd like to go a bit more deeply into presenting the funding mechanism and like the funding rules that we are going to apply in our support programs. So you probably even well, if you are not the beneficiary of the program yet, you probably ask yourselves a lot of or some of those questions that you can see here, like do I need to report actual costs? Do I need to present the financial documents to be funded, or will I need to show exactly how much time my team spent on the project to be funded, right? Or should I expect a financial audit from the authority that actually grants the funding? So the answer to all those questions is the lump sum mechanism. And this is the payment mechanism we are going to use in the Seeds of Bravery. So thanks to this mechanism, you can focus less on the administrative side of your project and more on the content, meaning your performance. So the basic rules are that you provide a cost estimate for each cost category in the full proposal that you submit. Then, of course, this estimation must be well close to your actual costs. So it has to be based on your actual costs, but still it's a cost estimate. And then once you get the funding, we release the payments upon the completion of your activities under Seeds of Bravery. So this is just to put it in a nutshell. And can we go to the next slide, please? So what do you need to show us under the lump sum mechanism for us to be able to release the payments? So we want to see any documents that show us that you performed as you promised, as you planned in your individual follow-up plan. I will say a few words more about this individual follow-up plan later on. So you start with an initial document, you make a project plan, okay, and you deliver according to the plan. So we want to, if you develop some kind of technology, we will want to see some technical documents or prototypes or other kinds of deliverables, reports. We want to know who did what, but we don't necessarily want to see the timesheets, right? So that's what we need to release lump sum payments. What we don't need are the timesheets or pay slips or contracts or your, well, actual costs, invoices, receipts. However, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't keep those in your records. So the good practice is to keep the financial documents in your records for 5 or 6 years after the project ends. Because, of course, there may be some audits or controls or investigations. It's usually us who is under the audit or control, but we may need to reach out to you to check some documents. So we will not to see them during the program, but the good practice is to keep them in your records. And can we go to the next slide, please? Okay, so now when you know what the lump sum mechanism is, it takes the administrative burden off your shoulders. You focus more on the performance than the financial reporting. Then let's have a look at the payment arrangements for the 2 programs we are mentioning today. So Business and Innovation Services and Innovative Entrepreneurship. So for Business and Innovative Services, the lump sum available to you is up to 10,000 euro per one service. But of course, we have this limit of 60,000 euro for all UAC's support programs. And this lump sum is established based on this cost estimate you indicate in the full proposal, right? So, so once the budget is approved, we approve the amount of lump sum to be paid. What kind of cost categories apply for Business and Innovation Services? Of course, the cost of the service itself, other costs directly related to the performance of your project, so personal costs, travel if necessary, but they still have to be directly linked to the implementation of the service, and the 25% flat rate for overheads. Okay, and the condition for the payment under this program, which is very simple, because here, well, we just reimburse your effort and cost of the service. The condition is that we want to see that you successfully completed your project. So we want to see that the service was successfully delivered to you. So basically, we will need to see the proof of that the service was delivered and that you got what you paid for, basically. So if you paid for business model, we will want to see your business model, right? For example, if you paid for IP patent analysis, we will want to see the report on this service, okay? So once you deliver the final results and those results are validated, then the payment of the lump sum may be released. And for innovative entrepreneurship, there are a little bit, this is, well, bigger funding, so there are more steps involved. So the lump sum, again, based on the budget you indicate in the full proposal on the cost estimate, is up to 25,000 euro. The funding limit is, of course, the same. cost categories here that you will fill out for the cost estimate are personal costs, travel costs, of course, the ones related to the project implementation, not any travel costs, and other direct costs. So anything you need to purchase maybe, but again, directly related to the implementation of your project and those goods, works, or services that are necessary for the implementation of the project, right? And the flat rate is the same for overheads, 25%. So for innovative entrepreneurship, there are more steps. There are 2 milestones. We'll look at them in a minute. And the grant will be paid like upon positive assessment of those 2 milestones and the delivered documents. So let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so here we focus on business and innovation services. So as soon as you sign the sub-grant agreement with the Seeds of Bravery Project Consortium, you become the beneficiary of the Business and Innovation Services Support Program. Within 2 months from SGA signature, from the sub-grant agreement signature, we will ask for the report on the activities you performed and the results achieved. Okay, so as I said, we will need to see, for example, your business plan or your growth strategy or report on any other service, okay? Plus a proof of delivery of the service. So the statement that the service was completed, delivered as planned, and that the quality of the service was satisfactory, and so on. So these are the minimum requirements. Then once you submit those documents, they will go through the evaluation. There will be 2 criteria. So the quality of the deliverable and the deadline compliance. In order to pass the threshold for the payment, you will need to receive 7 points. So all this will be explained once you sign your sub-grant agreement in more detail. And then once those evaluation results are approved and validated by the Seeds of Bravery Consortium, you are eligible to receive the payment. Okay, so please remember that you will receive the payment after the service is delivered. So this is important also for your planning. Yes, and there is only, let's say, 1 milestone, one instance where you need to submit the documents that are evaluated, validated, and then the payment is released. And can we go to the next slide, please? So here you can see a similar, let's say, pathway through the support program when it comes to payment arrangements, but this one is for innovative entrepreneurship. So you can see immediately here that there are 2 milestones in this program. So the first one is the individual follow-up plan. So this is the document you'll need to submit within the first month of your project implementation. You will not be left alone. Don't worry. There will be a follow-up mentor working with you on this follow-up plan. So you will establish together what's feasible for you to deliver, what's not feasible. And of course, the individual follow-up plan will be the basis for the evaluation of your performance at milestone 2. So this is very important to get the individual follow-up plan right. Okay. So once you submit the individual follow-up plan, you'll start working on the implementation of your project. And then 6 months after the SGA signature at the latest, we will ask you to submit your milestone 2 report. Okay, so basically the contents of this milestone to report will depend on what you included previously in the individual follow-up plan, right? So the output will depend on what you indicated in the IFP. As a beneficiary, it will be your task to develop and follow your own individual follow-up plan, right? Once you submit milestone to report, it will go through evaluation. This time there will be 3 criteria: quality of the deliverable, performance indicators, and deadline compliance. Again, there will be a threshold to receive payment, 7 points. The evaluation will take us, I think, minimum 2 weeks from the moment you submit the report. And then the selection committee, based on the evaluation results, will decide to approve or not your results, and then the payments will be validated. What happens if you don't reach the requested threshold of 7 points? Well, in such a case, the selection committee will kind of deliberate on cases like that on a case-by-case basis, taking into consideration all possible objective reasons for underperformance, because we do realize under what conditions you are working, especially if you are located from Ukraine. So all this will be considered, and the selection committee will always kind of issue a recommendation whether the report should be somehow corrected or not. Okay. It may also happen that some beneficiaries may be invited to leave the program if they don't reach the threshold, but that never happens without any major deliberation. Okay. So these are the payment arrangements for innovative entrepreneurship, and I think that's all I wanted to present about the payments and the lump sum mechanism. So I think we can go to the next slide.
Thank you so much, Maria, for your speech. It was really brilliant, and I hope that everyone will understand how to do it. And also, I saw that it's a lot of question for this point, but we will go to the question after all speakers will end with their speech. And dear applicants, future applicants, please add your question in English. Okay. Thank you so much one more time. And now we are moved to the next part, leveraging non-financial support matchmaking activities. And I want to invite to the stage Iran Muniz, venture analyst at Plug and Play. Iran, you're welcome to present this part of program.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And hello, everyone again. So I will be giving you all a short introduction to matchmaking, which is one of the parts that Plug and Play is in charge of organizing. So if we can please go to the next slide. So in the meantime, basically, to give a definition of matchmaking is meetings and connections we facilitate with stakeholders to support with the startup needs. So the main purpose of this activity, it's all about leveraging opportunities from the European Union and the global ecosystem to support these startups by accelerating their growth. So this matchmaking initiative will run through the entire program, and the journey will be tailored for each startup. So we want to invite everyone to participate in this matchmaking because it offers a wide range of opportunities and advantages for all the applicants. So basically what we will do is we will facilitate matchmaking with a diverse group of relevant stakeholders. So from corporates to investors to other accelerator programs, venture capital firms, government institutions, government financing, basically you name it, everything that we have at our hand, since we want to take advantage of the big consortium partners that we are. Because basically the matchmaking journey aims to be tailored to each individual startup and the needs and goals you have identified at the beginning of the program. So once again, everything is tailored to each startup based on how they identified their future steps or upcoming questions they might have, etc., etc. So we will tailor everything and follow closely to these interactions and the success from these interactions during the whole program. If we can go to the next slide, please. Yeah, so we have two approaches to this. The main one, once again, is a tailored matchmaking journey. So where here there will be structured onboarding with the lead partners from Seeds of Bravery, and what Maria was just mentioning, the individual follow-up plan for each startup. So part of this tailored matchmaking journey is also these one-on-one interactions with different stakeholders, once again, from corporates to investors, VC firms, you name it. And additionally, Plug and Play will do a dedicated onboarding into our very own Plug and Play Playbook database. Playbook gives access to the startups to Plug and Play's global corporate ecosystem. Additionally, on the tailored matchmaking journey, there's also a connection to other Seeds of Bravery activities and events. So we'll make everyone aware of all the opportunities at different times that are available to all the startups, once again, based on each individual needs. And so internally, we'll be doing connections with other partners and other participants to ensure the most relevant opportunities are available for the startups at the right moment in time. Lastly, for the tailored matchmaking journey, we will do a close follow-up and review the matchmaking interactions, including supporting with the follow-up meetings or mentoring with the matchmaking, and this will be done on a quarterly basis. So basically, the key point of, once again, the tailored matchmaking journey is that we have a big consortium, and we will leverage the opportunities of this consortium. And basically, that is the value of this whole program, and that's the value Seeds of Bravery can bring towards all the different streams, even though in this case, we're talking about the stream one. And as for the second approach, it would be a monthly digest. This would be focused on this value that I just mentioned by leveraging events that the consortium partners are participating in and other events and activities we see from our network. So we'll prepare a monthly matchmaking digest that shares more opportunities that are available for the participants. And this is different from the tailored matchmaking journey because this is dedicated to more general events and opportunities that we see outside of the program. Once again, we'll share this on a monthly basis and create a continuous flow of opportunities. And we already have some access to some of these networks, such as the one that I mentioned in the slide, the European Enterprise Network, and many more, because once again, we're a big consortium and we all can chip in some additional help to make this work smoothly. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your part, and thank you so much for your effort in this consortium and in this Info Day. Thanks. One more time, we're moving to the next part of our Info Day, access to investor and accelerators community. And Peter, I'm invite you once again to the stage.
Thank you, and maybe going to the next slide. What I want to introduce you to is a thing that we have been working on and developing throughout this project, and also before. Accelerate is a venture capital fund in itself, and we do what we call pre-traction, first-time founder investment, so early stage investment, and usually we have to then help the startups raise seed funding or Series A funding or what. And if we are not able to do that, then we basically lose our money. The money that is provided to you through this project will also have to lead you somewhere, and that could be to an investor, it could be to an accelerator, or it could be somewhere else in developing your startups in the next step. Being a founder myself, I know the tedious process of trying to raise money and figure out where to go. And I think the biggest problem that you have as a startup is that the market of investing into startups or participating in accelerators is actually not really transparent. So you have no clue on what is the investors are looking for. Are they actually investing in your stage, in your geography, and all these questions that you usually have. And therefore, you end up running a little bit around in a circle and trying to get in touch with investors or accelerators that is not basically relevant to you as a startup. We try to develop a platform that can help that. And basically, this platform consists of the following elements. First of all, we develop what we call an investment readiness test. So it's basically a test where you can get an idea of, are you investment ready, seen from a venture capital fund perspective, here an early stage venture capital fund perspective. The second part that we have developed is what we call an investor curator. And this is a system where you can start filtering different types of venture capital fund and other providers of money to your startup. And what you can do here is you can basically say, well, we are raising, for example, €1 million. Who is investing €1 million? And who is investing €1 million in our specific technology area? So you can filter investors in Europe through this curator, and through that get a more relevant list of potential investors that could be interested in your specific startup. And then as part of this, we are building a little bit of what we call insight into these investors. So for each of the investor, we provide with a little bit more insight of what have they invested in before. And for some of them, and this is a continuous development, for some of them, we also have interviews with one of the managing partners. So basically one of the individuals that make these investment decisions, where they talk about what is it that they are exactly looking for in terms of startup. And through that, hopefully you can start building your relevant list of potential investors within the European Union in the broadest term. A similar tool we are trying to do for accelerators. So basically also an accelerator curator, where you again can filter the accelerators depending on, well, do they provide money? Do they provide services? And what are the terms of the specific accelerator? Then the fourth thing that we are developing as a little bit more inspiration is that we collected pitch decks from all the startups that we have been working with, but also the startups that have raised seed funding. So on the platform, you will find a selection of pitch decks that has been used in order to raise seed funding, and some of them a little bit later stage funding. Again, they are ranked and they can be filtered, so you can find a pitch deck that matches your technology, or you can find a single slide that is showing, for example, the team or a market size. And then as the fifth thing on the platform, you have a what we call learning path. So basically, again, a little bit of inspiration where you can say, well, what is it that we as investors are looking for? So what are the questions and what are the things that you have to answer? And then as a last thing, a little bit of inspiration where we have dialogue with some of our alumni successful founders on their either technical development, their market development, their team development, and building a repository and a library of inspirational talks, hopefully from other successful founders. A first version you can already, a beta version you can already enter in the link shown here, and hopefully play a little bit around with that. So we are upgrading it constantly, but already now you will find a pretty substantial list of potential investors that you can start curate if any of them are relevant to you as a startup. So that should be it for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Peter. And we'll move to next part of our program and next part of our InfoDay Market Discovery Workshop. And it's my pleasure to invite to the stage Finula Wall, Marketing Manager and EU Project Coordinator in Corbic. You are welcome.
Thank you very much, Jana. Delighted to be here. Now, happy to move to the next stage. Thank you. Thank you very much. So we are, Corbic are in charge of the market discovery and market fast track element of the Seeds of Bravery project. The market discovery workshops we will be beginning in May. So I wanted to give a quick overview as to who can attend these and what we will cover within these workshops. The market discovery workshops are aimed at all, everyone is able to attend these workshops, from startups to entrepreneurs to support organizations. The aim of the market discovery workshop is to give an overview of each country and outline in detail the local startup ecosystem. Have a detailed look at the market access and analysis, the state supports and local supports and regulatory environment, and the investment landscape. So looking at those in a little bit more detail, what do we mean when we say an overview of the country? What we're thinking of here, what we're talking about here is having a look at the key markets. Where are the opportunities within that country? Where are the opportunities for Ukrainian startups to build and grow their organizations within these countries? Also having a look at social, cultural, and environmental factors within the country. Living, sustainability, social responsibility, and diversity within each country. Very important as well is the startup ecosystem. So how has this ecosystem developed? Where is the access to staff, to investment? Are there innovation centres, incubators, accelerators? And are there access to soft landing programs? Then we look at the overview of state and local supports. Who are the local agencies that can support startups, mentoring supports, business development supports, marketing supports? If you were to expand into that country, what is the registration policy? How can you get advice on local authority regulations, government policies, visas? We will then move on to the market intelligence and access to markets in that particular country. So what we're looking at here is are there local clusters in the technologies that are key to this project? What is the market assessment opportunity and the funding market for those sectors within that country? Then we will look at the third level institutions and supports. Here we look at the potential routes of commercialization for technology. Maybe there are funding supports, industry partners that support startups through third level and institutions and universities, and then links to university-based incubators and accelerators. Finally, we will look at the investment landscape in each of these countries. What are the local supports by way of grants, the enterprise supports? What is the angel investment situation, the VC investments, and the banking or online funding? So these are the five key areas that we will look at throughout the market discovery workshops. When will these be happening? The market discovery workshops will begin in May. There are 6 going to be scheduled very shortly between now and August, and they will be all online, about 3 to 3.5 hours long. They can be attended by everybody. There will be a Q&A session at each workshop, and they will be followed by detailed Q&A session at the end of each one of them. If you want to go on to the next slide, please. So these are why you would attend the workshop and gain an understanding of how Ukrainian startups can integrate into the innovation ecosystem. This is the schedule that we have, and we will be putting up registration links within the next 2 weeks for each of these workshops. There will be registration required, and you will then move to view the online workshop. If you want to move on to the next slide. Following the market discovery, I just want to give a short overview of the market fast track programs, which will begin in September. This is a 2-week online program which will facilitate 20 startups to attend to work with each of the different market discovery countries. So in this, we will look at in detail the value proposition and market validation, market intelligence, developing a go-to-market strategy for that geography, and finance and investment. While these will be predominantly directed at that particular geography, there will also be quite a broad view of the go-to-market strategy and finance and investment. These will be a mix of workshops, group workshops, and 4 one-to-one sessions with local mentors in each of the partners. These will begin in September 2024, and again, a schedule and registration links will be put up in advance. These will also form part of the matchmaking activities that will be recommended to startups once they develop a program with their mentor. I think that's the end of my slides, and I think I've run out of time.
Thank you so much, Fionnuala. Thank you for your program and for your speech. And now we move to the last part of our Info Day for today. It's a female entrepreneurship and leadership program, and I'm happy to welcome to the stage Michal Olszewski, Acceleration Manager in Funding Box Accelerator. Michal, you're welcome.
I'll make this quick. This part of this program is a bit different from the others. Why? There's no money involved here. There's no money for the beneficiaries, but there's something else. It's mentoring, and it's kind of special because it's not directed to companies, startups, SMEs, but the beneficiaries here are individual people. So what's this about? We believe that we recognize that the female founders, the female entrepreneurs, they face various challenges, and they have a lot of impact, very strong impact on their journey as entrepreneurs. So we believe that we have to address. It's important to address these and help them overcome challenges, as this will help shape the future Ukrainian tech ecosystem for the better, because having more inclusive, more supportive environment will result in companies that are innovative and resilient. So this is important to do something for female entrepreneurs now. So we identified so far four areas where we want to focus on with our mentoring. It's about access to funding. It's about overcoming gender biases and stereotypes. It's about female-specific negotiation challenges and running responsible yet profitable businesses. So like being both happy with something that you build and making it profitable. And we believe that by combining the skills that Ukrainian female founders and managers already possess and the mentoring which we can offer for them, together it will enable building high growth companies that will be ready to grow and have international success. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, so who's responsible for this? This program is run and co-created by three entities. One of them is Funding Box Accelerator, which I represent. Another one is Erasmus Center of Entrepreneurship, and Kati Su from EC is with us today. And the third entity which is involved is YEP Accelerator from Ukraine, and I think Andriy is here also today with us. So if you have any questions to any of us, there are three of us that can answer them. What's expected here? We want to mentor 100 participants, female entrepreneurs, and the program will take 12 weeks. And we expect that it would be 4 batches of about 25 female entrepreneurs mentored. You can see the budget, the approximate times when each batch will start and finish. That's on the screen. There's one thing. The mentors will be individually selected. The program will be mostly one-on-one mentoring, and each mentor will be individually pointed to a mentee, and there's no like fixed program. We will try do our best to offer the mentoring which is specific to the needs of every participant. I know it's hard, but we'll try to do it, and we'll try to match you with mentors. There are really top ones with entrepreneur pedigree, and they come from different countries, so they will give you like good insight for scaling and for going international. Who can participate? Ukrainian female founders and managers of startups and innovative SMEs. And to apply to this program, you just while applying to Seeds of Bravery, in two of the streams, there is a possibility to indicate that you're interested in addition to funding, to grants, you're also interested in this female-specific mentoring. So just indicate this during the application process, and we'll take it from there. And after this program, we hope that you'll be ready to enroll in other programs like PMP Foundher and other EIT female-focused programs. And of course, we believe that it will make your entrepreneurial life and future more predictable. Yeah, you'll be ready to take on with all the challenges that lie in front of you. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Michal. And now we're moved to our final part of today's Info Day Q&A session. For the first, I have a little bit for right now, and please, I invite you to give us more questions for today. And first one, I think that is to Maria. What is the difference between business and innovation services and innovative entrepreneurship? How to understand where we belong?
Well, these are two different support programs that we offer under Seeds of Bravery. So in total, under Seeds of Bravery, we have, let's say, five support programs that you can access with, of course, the funding limit in mind. And just today, in this Info Day, I wanted to present to you what the financial support looks like for the business and innovation services program and innovative entrepreneurship program. In the following Info Days, we will be focusing on the remaining programs as well. And how to understand where you belong. My recommendation is that you go to Seeds of Bravery website, where you will find the link to the registration page on the OnePass platform. And there, all the open call documents are linked. So my recommendation is that you check the terms, the so-called guide for applicants, and all the conditions, eligibility criteria, information about the support program, all this information is included in this document, and this is your best point of reference. The other document linked there is frequently asked questions, and this is also a good source of information. And I'm pretty convinced that based on those two documents, you will be able to understand where you belong, what each program offers, okay, and what kind of support you would like to apply for.
Thank you so much, Maria. Also, I want to mention that you can find this document guide for applicants in our social media with a post with life hacks, how to read it, and with the main points of the guide of applicants. So just move to our social media and you will find all information that you need for all the streams of finance support and another one, non-financial support. Next question, I hope that it's to you, Maria. How to prove the delivery of the service?
First of all, we will want you to submit like a report on the activities you performed under the program. So if you apply for, let's say, a service of IP and patent analysis, and the external provider works with you and delivers the service to you, we will want to see the result. So the report showing the result and how to prove that the service was delivered. We will want you to submit a statement that the service was provided as initially planned, and that you accept the provided result from the external provider.
Thank you so much,
Of
Maria.
course, yes, of course, once we sign the sub-grant agreements and we start the program, we'll provide you with all the details, right? Yeah.
Of course. Thank you so much. Next question. Can Ukrainian companies use the grants to cover services provided only by the consortium partner or also by external companies? What kind of services can be purchased outside of the consortium? Maria, I think that is to you as well.
Okay, so the support that Seeds of Bravery offers is of two natures. The first one is the financial support, and the other side is the non-financial support that Peter, Michał, Irene, and Finula mentioned today. So the business and for the business and innovation services, the funding can be used only for the services provided by external providers, not from within the consortium. Even more, in the full proposal, you need to submit a statement that the service provider you select does not have, that there is no conflict of interest, right? I'm not sure if I answered all the question because it was long. Jana, is there any part?
What kind of services can be purchased outside of the consortium?
The list of services again is included in the guide for applicants, but these are business consultancy services, IPR, patent analysis, market analysis, internationalization services, portfolio management services, and relations with investors, planning and digital, and the last one is planning and digital tools for crowdfunding campaigns. So this is the list of all the services which are now available under this first program.
Thank you so much. I think that the main point of this question, that is all these programs that we are reviewed today, it's about non-financial support. It's not about the services that you can buy. So you can take the financing from the financial stream of all the financial program, and all the another program is non-financial support that you can just have via this stream. So I hope that it's clear right now. And the last one question that I have for today: can startup that building solution connected to UN Sustainable Goal expect support in helping with testing and spreading, piloting this solution across educational organizations?
Jana, could I ask you to read this question again?
Yeah, of course. Can startup that building solution connected to UN Sustainable Goal expect support in helping with testing and spreading, piloting this solution across educational organizations?
Okay, UN Sustainable Goal, right?
Goals. Yeah,
Goals.
I mean that it's international document about sustainable goals for the next century. I think that it means this one.
And can the company be provided support in
testing and spreading the solution across educational organization? Maybe it's about the applicants, but I'm not sure. Maybe you can clear your question right now, because it's not too clear right now.
Well, I think that it's first of all, you would need to describe in the full proposal what the solution is exactly and what you want to achieve under under the support program you select. Okay. Yeah. Michał says that matchmaking will help. But if you would like to apply for the financial support, we would need to see like the detailed description of the project and what you would like to achieve under the support program, because it's very hard to say whether you can expect this support or not, based on the general question. It's very hard for us to say that, because it's also up to the independent evaluators who evaluate the submitted proposals to kind of decide and evaluate whether the project is within the scope of the Seeds of Bravery and whether the project should be granted. So actually, it's not. It's independent evaluators who like help us to select the proposals for funding, right?
Maria, I have the small clarification from this participant. Helps this solution obtain users across educational organizations by introducing it to them?
Well, I think that, as Michał said, probably matchmaking would help here, and also the services under non-financial support, absolutely. So that would be the case for the non-financial support. And also, what I wanted to mention is that once you are selected for funding and you sign the subgrant agreement, you start working on your individual follow-up plan, right? As I said, this is not the task in which you're left alone. You will be provided a mentor from within the consortium who will help you, guide you through drafting this individual follow-up plan. With this mentor, you will also be able to select what kind of services you should access from within the consortium, I mean the non-financial services, to achieve your goal, right? So I think that would be something you could work on with the mentor on the stage of individual follow-up plan preparation.
Thank you so much, Maria. And the last one question for today, I think, if the startup has MVP, but no revenue yet as payment wasn't implemented, is there a chance to be selected for the program?
As long as you are a registered entity, you are eligible to apply. Just please make sure that you follow the criteria per program, because I mean like the required technology readiness level and other criteria, right? Because they are different for different support programs. So again, please have a look at the guide for applicants. But as long as you are a registered entity, you are eligible to apply. Under, of course, all the conditions included in the guide for applicants, of course. Yes.
Of course. Thank you so much. I think that it's it for today. Thank you, all of you, for your speeches, for information about your program. And for the all participants, I want to say that we will have more info days till the next week. So you just join us to know more about each streams of financing and non-financing support via the consortium. So thank you so much for being today with us, and see you at the next info days with Seeds of Bravery project. See you. Bye.